Good morning, everyone. It's mid-April now, and I promised you last time that I would give you a tour of my garden since I finally have all the beds dug and about half of them planted. Some things are starting to sprout. I got two new sprouts growing, well, two new varieties of sprouts growing yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a tour, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. So I'm going to try and make this as easy for you to understand as possible. This is a little entranceway. Ignore the dead beans that I tried to move them outside, and it said it wasn't supposed to get below 40 and it went below 32. So they died. Anyway, yeah. So you can see the tomato cages. Those are actually going to be beans. And there's going to be a ring of flowers around them, and I have 3 more sets of beans on this side. On each side of the entrance is going to be runner beans, and they're kind of going to go across the top with a little thing I'll add later. As you go in, you can go this way, and this plot over here is going to be zucchini and nasturtiums, because I read that nasturtiums are good for keeping out the squash bug, and just generally good for things like zucchini or squash or cucumbers, anything related to that. So that is going to be zucchini and lots of nasturtiums. This little spot right here is going to be a plot of chamomile. And then you may recognize this section in the back, which I've finally gotten mulched up. That is my red fife wheat. The middle section is potatoes, which I want to show you. Oh, I've got some extras. Some of my potatoes have decided to pop up. So I have one in this row that has popped through the dirt. There's a new one. This guy just popped through this morning. This is my middle row. So I have 2 in the middle, and then 1 in the far row that you can see there. On both sides I have peas. They're dwarf variety, so they don't grow very tall. As you can see, they're about 1 inch right now, but they're all growing very nicely. So hopefully they'll attach to this little simple stick trellis that I have going on, and hopefully they'll produce a good amount of peas, because last year I didn't get any peas, which that's kind of standard crop that like I can always rely on, but last year it just didn't do anything. So last year was the year of no peas. Hopefully this year will be better. So you stand up, and this section over here is gonna be marigolds and sunflowers. Here I have some beets and cabbages and kohlrabi. Hopefully my beets will grow. I have not had much success with them in the past. You can see, where is it? There it is. There's a red cabbage and some green cabbage and some more red cabbage down the way. Let's see here. There's my red beets, and I had some yellow ones. There's some yellow ones coming up right there, and there's a few others around, and I believe that's the kohlrabi. I don't remember what its leaves look like, but they look kind of like radishes, but I know I didn't plant radishes here, so it must be the kohlrabi. Coming up on the other side, that's this bed here. On the other side I have my radishes and my carrots, which the radishes are doing really well. And I have started to notice, I don't know if you can see them, they're really tiny of course, but right in here I've got some carrots and some more carrots. Those ones you can see a little better. And I've got several rows of those coming up, so that's exciting. Baby squawking. I guess I should go get him and I'll finish this. All right, baby's taken care of. This little spot where you can see the sticks at, this square is going to be for tomatoes. And I'm going to plant basil under it to help with the bugs and the flavor. It's a good companion plant for tomatoes. Also in cooking. So the reason there's a square here is because I'm going to build a table trellis for my tomatoes. In the back there's going to be some squash, hopefully. I planted squash last year and they started out well, and then the squash bugs came and they all died. So hopefully that'll be better this year. So in the front, tomatoes, row of marigolds, and then in the back, squash. This side, similar. I'm gonna have peppers here, and then a row of marigolds, and then in the back there will be some squash, and I have a little walkway in between. The outside edge of this patch is gonna be all flowers. If I turn around, you can see the other side. That's gonna be flowers on the end as well. And then I planted some broad beans in this first patch, and the far patch, I don't know what I was thinking. You may remember I said I was going to plant gourds and possibly sweet potatoes if the slips ever start. But I don't know what I was thinking, because there's a lot of shell and rock in there, and it would be a terrible place for sweet potatoes to grow because they're a root vegetable. So, like I said, I was going crazy. I don't know what I was thinking, so that's going to be gourds. If the sweet potatoes grow, I'll find a different spot for them, because that would just be a bad idea. Over here is my funny little section for leaf vegetables. As you can see, I've got some spinach and some chard over there. I did plant, and one little lettuce. I did plant out some lettuce and some pak choy seedlings, and they apparently did not like being transplanted and they just died. The spinach transplants, though admittedly puny, are still alive, so hopefully those will grow. And in the center here I have some kale. It's a, what's it called? Caballonero? Something like that. So it's the tall kind with the narrow leaves. So that is in the center block there. And that's supposed to be lettuce. I need to plant some more, and some mustard, because rabbits don't seem to like mustard, so I want to make a border out of mustard. I might try and plant out the pak choy because I have tons of seed. So yeah, that will be that section. And go around, there's the radishes and carrots again, and peas and potatoes. That will be my beans. And yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully everything will grow lovely this year. And next year I also want to do some popcorn. I want to do some strawberry popcorn. Sweet corn, we get sweet corn here. In the summer it's ridiculously cheap because it's local and it's good, so there's really no point in me growing it. But popcorn I thought would be fun. We don't eat a ton of popcorn, so one little square of it should be enough to hold us for the year. The wheat's growing nicely. I really hope it comes out good. I'm going to try a fall planting to overwinter. So yeah, that's all that. And like I said, if everything works out nicely, it should be really, really, really lovely in a month or two. So, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. You may have noticed the strings around the garden. Those are just temporary markers, so Gwenny remembers where she's not supposed to walk. So those aren't intended to be permanent. They're just little temporary things until everything gets growing and she gets used to the boundaries. But yep. Alright, we'll see you next time. Hopefully it'll be a little video about how I use my bullet journal to record all my garden facts. So I hope you guys have a nice weekend, and I hope your garden plots are growing nicely as well. See you next time.